sitting of the Commission to welcome Commissioners Emmanuel and Matthews.
Good morning. This is a special sitting of the Commission to welcome Commissioner Toni Emmanuel and Commissioner Damian Matthews as members of the Commission. On behalf of the Acting President Jennifer Smith, Acting Senior Commissioner Pam Scott and Commissioner Stephen Kenner, may I welcome you all here this morning and also those watching the webcast of the proceedings. We welcome too our colleague Commissioner Williams from the Fair Work Commission. We have a good informal relationship with the members of the Fair Work Commission in Perth. Deputy President Binet and Commissioner Clogan have their own hearing commitments and aren't present, and also His Honour Joe Cecchini, the Industrial Magistrate, is not present. We extend a warm welcome to Commissioner Emmanuel's husband, Timothy Massey, to Leo and Evelyn, who I suspect I hear in the audience there, Dawn and Deford Emmanuel, her parents, Robin Emmanuel, her sister, and Paul Russell, her brother-in-law. We also extend a warm welcome to Commissioner Matthews' partner, Melissa Harris, and his stepdaughter, Eliza, to Jill and John Matthews, his parents, his sister, Nicole, and his niece, Sarah Clement, and nephew, Matthew Clement. To Commissioners Emmanuel and Matthews, I and my colleagues extend a most warm welcome to you. We are delighted to welcome two such highly regarded and eminently qualified industrial relations practitioners to deal with the matters that come before the Commission. Mr. Minister, the Honourable Michael Mission.
Thank you, Chief Commissioner and Madam Acting President, Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to have this opportunity to welcome to this Commission our new Commissioners, Commissioner Toni Emmanuel and Commissioner Damian Matthews. And I extend my congratulations to them for having succeeded in the selection process that was undertaken by government in order to select the best of the best for these positions. Industrial relations affects the lives of all Western Australians in one manner or another, from the relationships we have with our employers, our employees or their representatives, to the conditions that apply to our employment. The Commission continues to play a central role in dealing with industrial relations matters in Western Australia, resolving employment disputes, setting minimum wages and conditions of employment, and assisting employers and employees to reach agreements that suit their needs and to resolve the disputes between them. In exercising these important powers, the Commission is obliged to act according to not only law, but equity, good conscience and the substantial merits of each case before it. The Commission must also have regards, of course, to the interests of the person appearing before it, as well as with regard to the public interest and the community interest. And so it is to each Commissioner, that these obligations fall. The workload of the Commission is becoming increasingly complex. Legal qualifications and an ability to interpret and apply law and legal principles at the highest level, and the ability to objectively weigh and assess competing arguments was an essential consideration of government in the selection process for the appointment of our two new Commissioners. In this regard, the government for the first time sought and received expressions of interest from many worthy applicants, which I'm confident that the government has selected the best suited and best qualified. Commissioner Toni Emmanuel joins the Commission today, having previously held the position of Principal Solicitor at the Employment Law Centre. The Employment Law Centre is Western Australia's only not-for-profit legal centre which specialises in employment law. As Principal Solicitor, Commissioner Emmanuel represented vulnerable non-unionised employees in numerous fora, including the Commission, the Fair Work Commission and the Industrial Magistrates Court. Commissioner Emmanuel's work with the Employment Law Centre demonstrates to the government that she has the industrial relations experience, the intellectual rigour and the sense of fairness that will ensure that she will discharge consummately her obligations as a Commissioner and serve the people of Western Australia. Commissioner Damian Matthews comes to the Commission with 20 years' experience as a barrister and solicitor in the State Solicitor's Office, specialising in industrial relations and employment law. As a barrister and solicitor, Commissioner Matthews represented the state government in the Commission, the Fair Work Commission, the Supreme Court of Western Australia and the Federal Court of Australia. The government believes that Commissioner Matthews' extensive industrial relations knowledge, his advisory and advocacy experience and his ability to weigh competing cases on behalf of the government in order to provide objective advice will also ensure that he successfully discharges his obligations as a Commissioner. Furthermore, Commissioner Matthews' comprehensive understanding of the public sector industrial relations environment will be an asset to the Commission with its sizeable public sector industrial relations jurisdiction. It's a noteworthy day when we welcome two new commissioners to the Commission at one time. Commissioner Emmanuel and Commissioner Matthews, I warmly welcome you and congratulate you to the Commission and upon your appointments. I'm confident you will both continue to contribute to the industrial relations sector in this state, and I wish you every success in your new role. Best of luck, and the best wishes of the government, and I'm sure the people of Western Australia who you are serving go with you in your new stage of your career in life.
Thank you very much. Ms Hannah.
Thank you. Thank you, and good morning, Chief Commissioner, Acting President, and can I warmly welcome Commissioner Emmanuel, Commissioner Matthews, the other members of the Commission and invited guests. It's a great pleasure for me to rise today on behalf of Unions WA and the working people of this state to welcome two new commissioners to this very Australian institution, the WA Industrial Relations Commission. Can I say congratulations and welcome. You've joined what is a unique institution that has contributed significantly over a long and sustained history, not just to Australian work, but to the Australian economy and also to our society. It has been a central feature, the West Australian Commission, for many years as part of the industrial relations system. Our industrial relations system is somewhat unique in the world and has always had at its heart a need to balance the unilateral power of management with the right of employees and their unions to collectively bargain and to access, when circumstances require it, an independent and an impartial umpire. At the heart of this Commission's work has been an enduring recognition that work and employment relationships are not just economic concepts and they are not just legal concepts. Issues about employment relationships are different. They are unique, and it is right and proper that we have a specialised tribunal to consider them. Work, employment and the circumstances in which work is conducted profoundly affects the lives that people live, it affects how they raise their families, and it affects the kind of society that we create. Quite rightly, throughout its history, this Commission and our industrial relations system more generally has recognised that workplaces should not just be productive, they should also be fair. Our history has demonstrated the merit of having a third party that's able to intervene in the employment relationship in the interests of fairness, equity and efficiency. This approach has been good for the economy, it's contributed significantly to living standards for workers and their families, and it has ensured a degree of economic equity. Commissioners Emmanuel, Commissioner Matthews, you joined the Commission at a time of significant change in Western Australia, particularly in economic terms. In recent times, WA has enjoyed great prosperity brought about by the mining boom. However, it is clear, and has been clear for some time, that not all workers have benefited from these economic circumstances. For some, it's meant higher costs of living without corresponding increases in wages or salary. There's no doubt that that mining boom has benefited many workers in this economy, but now that it is slowing, we see the remnants of what a prosperous time has meant. And that is now evidence of one of the highest levels of inequality in any state in Australia. As the WA economy is now in a downturn, we know that workers are losing jobs, not just in the mining industry, but across the board. We see that wages are stagnant, and it is clear that we face challenging economic times in this state for the next few years at least. I'm sure the work of this Commission is made more challenging by these difficult economic circumstances. It is perhaps a very challenging environment for a new Commissioner starting out in the role. However, you both come to this institution with significant experience in your respective fields. Commissioner Emmanuel, we've already heard about your involvement and your extensive experience representing the interests of some of the most vulnerable workers in this state. I'm well acquainted with the important work of the Employment Law Centre and your work there, often representing those who are very much on the margins of the labour market and society. Your commitment to pursue fairness and justice for those workers will ensure you are stand in good stead to perform your role as Commissioner with distinction. Commissioner Matthews, although we've not previously met, I acknowledge your considerable career of over 20 years with the State Solicitor's Office. You have a reputation for professionalism and for impartiality, and I'm sure your considerable experience in public sector matters will ensure you make a significant contribution to the work of this Commission. In both cases, it's clear your qualifications, your experience, your attributes will well qualify you for these roles and will ensure you succeed and continue the work of this Commission, the important work of finding elegant solutions to complex problems that we face and solutions that balance the competing needs of productivity and fairness. So on behalf of the trade union movement, can I welcome you to the West Australian Industrial Relations Commission. I'm confident that you will make a valuable and a substantial contribution to preserving and promoting fairness in our workplaces and ensuring that they are also productive. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Moss, please.
Thank you. On behalf of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry and its members, it's great pleasure that I have to welcome the appointment of Commissioner Emmanuel and Commissioner Matthews as members of the WA Industrial Relations Commission. The WA Industrial Relations Commission has always had an important role in helping to shape the industrial relations within this state, both in terms of its decisions affecting significant parts of the economy, but probably more importantly, with respect to the interactions between employers and employees within individual workplaces. And whilst the industrial relations system has shifted, so too has the roles of the WA Industrial Relations Commission. And in doing so, it continues to maintain its relevance and significance to the WA business community and to employees as well. In particular, the Commission is held in high regard within the industrial relations and business community, and it's well known for its balanced approach in dealing with matters before it, its recognition of the importance of matters to the individuals appearing before it, be they individual employees or businesses for whom the decision of the Commission may have ongoing ramifications. Its appreciation that good industrial relations decisions are more than just a strict interpretation of statutory law, but also an essential element is an appreciation of the personal interactions between employers and employees, and with that an understanding of the business imperatives that all struggle with within the world of work as it shifts. And also, and probably most significantly, a unique understanding of the challenges facing employers and employees within the Western Australian context. The reputation of this Commission is such that its assistance continues to be actively sought, even by those who now fall outside of its jurisdiction. The strength of this Commission comes from the qualities, attributes and experiences of its members. Commissioners Emmanuel, Commissioners Matthew, you both come to this Commission with a diverse and rich set of experiences, which will lend to the strength of the Commission. Just as the collective experiences of the Commission will aid you, as you move from your previous roles representing your specific stakeholders within the industrial relations system, to be reflective of the sometimes competing needs and challenges facing all of the parties that come before you. We congratulate you both and wish you well in your new roles. If the Commission pleases, that's the CCI welcome, and we look forward to appearing before you both in probably the very near future.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moss. Mr. Ellery, please.
Thank you. May it please the Commission. It's a great privilege for me to be appearing today on behalf of the West Australian legal profession through the Law Society to welcome Commissioners Emmanuel and Commissioner Matthews. I'm a member of the Council of the Law Society, and the President, aware of my familiarity with this jurisdiction, asked me to represent the Law Society, and it's a great honour to do so. Commissioner Emmanuel, your appointment is in many ways a fitting culmination of your work over the past decade. When you made the switch from Blake Dawson to the community sector in 2006, it certainly wasn't in pursuit of monetary gain. In fact, you were quoted in the Australian newspaper as having taken a significant pay cut when he left what was one of the country's leading firms to take on the role of Principal Solicitor for the Employment Law Centre of Western Australia. But the rewarding nature of the work in which you immersed yourself proved to be compensation enough. Over the past decade, you and your team have offered a vital service to workers who have found themselves in legal difficulties, such as being unfairly dismissed from their job. Under your guidance, the Employment Law Centre has grown to become one of the leading specialist community legal organisations in Western Australia. You have led a team of about 35 lawyers, secondees, paralegals and volunteers, quite a disparate group, to bring the crucially important help required to vulnerable employees around the state. If I could perhaps change hats for a moment as a past volunteer and current board member of the Employment Law Centre, I can also add that everybody will feel your absence very keenly at the Employment Law Centre, but wishes you very well in your new appointment. For the past 10 years, you've been a devoted advocate to social justice and equity in employment. Your work as Principal Solicitor for the Employment Law Centre has seen you take on a wide range of roles, including advocacy, representation, research, law reform and community education, all vital roles which will stand you in good stead for this new role. You have seen employment law from all angles, and this holistic experience will no doubt serve you well as Commissioner. The Law Society has been delighted to count you as a member since you joined in 2004. Your outstanding service to the community was recognised in 2009 when the Law Society named you Lawyer of the Year. I have no doubt that you will continue to bring the same passion and commitment to your new role as Commissioner. Commissioner Matthews. Commissioner Matthews, your appointment is recognition for multiple decades of service as a government lawyer, over which you have amassed a great wealth of legal knowledge and skill. You have spent a great deal of time building up practical experience at the industrial relations coalface. Again, very helpful experience for your new role, I'm sure. Your appointment serves to significantly enhance the standing of the Commission in its vital role as the independent industrial adjudicator in our state. Over many years, you've worked tirelessly on behalf of the state government, regardless of the political persuasion of the government at any time. As a barrister and solicitor at the State Solicitor's Office for 23 years, you have time and again proven yourself to be a legal practitioner of impeccable professionalism and impartiality. During your time at the State Solicitor's Office, you have worked on a number of very complex industrial relations matters, experience that will doubtless prove very informative as you transition into your important new role as Commissioner. Your absence from the State Solicitor's Office is sure to leave your former colleagues with a very significant hole to fill, much like the other new Commissioner from her organisation, past organisation. However, in this case, the government's loss is the gain of the state and the people of Western Australia. Your knowledge and experience will be put to excellent use as you preside over matters at this Commission. Commissioners Emmanuel and Matthews, it has been my great pleasure today to welcome you on behalf of the legal profession and the Law Society. I'm sure you both will prove to be outstanding Commissioners and will play a vital role in the service of the people of Western Australia. May it please the Commissioner.
Thank you very much indeed. Commissioner Emmanuel.
I acknowledge the Noongar people, past and present, the traditional owners and custodians of the land we're meeting on today. To honour the Acting President, the Honourable Minister for Commerce, Chief Commissioner, Acting Senior Commissioner, fellow Commissioners, and family and friends, thank you for attending this special sitting. Thank you to those at the bar table for their kind words. I feel honoured to have been appointed a Commissioner to this Commission. It gives me such pleasure to see my family here today. My husband Tim Massey, our beloved son Leo who's 4, our little daughter Evelyn who just turned 1 a few weeks ago, my sister Robin, my brother-in-law Paul and my parents Dawn and Dave. It means a great deal to me that they are here. They're very dear to me, as you can tell, and they've always, I've always been really grateful for the example they've shown. They've demonstrated the importance, I think, of integrity and service and contribution. In particular, I'd like to thank Tim, my husband. He's always supported my decisions, be they personal or professional. And Nick Ellery referred earlier to what I'm sure many people thought was a risky move, and I'm sure it was a risky move, to leave private practice and join a community organisation that was just about to lose government funding. But I did it with Tim's full backing, and I was so glad that I had. His approach to our partnership has always been to place equal importance on my professional development as much as his own, including since we've had children. And that has meant that really wonderful opportunities like this appointment have been possible. We've been through a lot together, and I don't doubt that all that lies ahead and all the challenges that will come will be much more manageable with him at my side. I'm really pleased that former colleagues are here. I can see some lawyers from the community sector generally, the team at the Employment Law Centre, and I think Marie-Claire Foley from my days at what was then Blake Dawson Waldron is here as well. I'm sorry that Tony Davies isn't able to be here. He passed away 3 years ago. I think he would have been really chuffed to see one of the many juniors he taught appointed to this commission, which he respected. I learned a huge amount from Tony while working in the team's industrial relations and employment practice and acting for large corporate employers. He had such a capacity for hard work, a real commitment to his clients, and a genuine passion for industrial law. I can see lots of people from the Employment Law Centre, including, as Nick said, at the bar table, and other members of the Board of Management. And it's been such a pleasure to be part of that organisation. I'll particularly miss my colleagues Michael Gilhood, Jessica Smith and Sarah Kane. They are such talented, committed professionals. Sarah, working with you these past 7 years, what an honour and a privilege. You really walk the walk, not just talk the talk. And it made for a really special working environment. The Employment Law Centre's innovation with flexible working arrangements really benefited its staff and the centre, and I have to say I feel very lucky to have been the beneficiary of that and your approach. I take up this new appointment, Sarah, inspired by your energy, your vision and your integrity. I feel very fortunate to have done such diverse and meaningful legal work. And in particular at the Employment Law Centre, I felt I had a daily reminder of just how generous people are. All the volunteering lawyers, IR practitioners, barristers, students, and community workers. I'm conscious of the great responsibility that comes with this appointment, including to act according to equity, good conscience and the substantial merits of the case, having regard to the interest of those concerned, of course, and where appropriate, the community and the whole, and the state. I'm thankful for the support of so many others. I feel really warmly welcomed by the Commission members and its staff who've gone out of their way these past few weeks to make me feel at home. Having such a deep respect for his significant contribution and his unfailing courtesy, I'm really pleased to have the chance to work with the Chief Commissioner in the months before he retires. This is an exciting opportunity to contribute to the state of Western Australia, its people and the business community. I'm honoured by this appointment, grateful for the chance to serve, and it is with pleasure that I share this occasion with Commissioner Matthews. Thank you.
Commissioner Matthews.
Thank you, Chair Commissioner. Thank you to all those at the bar table for their words. I've listened to what you have to say, and I'll of course take it on board as I embark on this new role. I'd like to thank my fellow commissioners in the same spirit as Commissioner Emmanuel for making me feel so welcome since I started, and the same goes for Sue Bastian and her staff in the department. Thank you for making me feel so welcome. And a special thank you to Commissioner Emmanuel for agreeing to delay her welcome because she started a few weeks before me so that we could celebrate today's occasion together. But I do of course remain the junior Commissioner. And I've been assured that all the unpleasant and demeaning tasks that go with that role are a matter of tradition and I shouldn't ask any questions about them, and I don't. I'm very proud and excited to have been appointed as a Commissioner of the West Australian Industrial Relations Commission. I have during my working career developed a strong interest in and respect for the employment relationship. It is without a doubt one of the most important relationships that any of us enter into during the course of a lifetime. It is a relationship which satisfies many of the aspirations and dreams that persons have, and is also for the springboard for the pursuit and realisation of other aspirations and dreams that people have, such as marriage, parenthood, and home ownership and retirement. For everyone who is in such a relationship, it is an important one, and our role here at the Commission is to ensure that relationship operates fairly and for those in it, and that is something that I take very seriously. I promise that any party that comes before me, employer, employee or union, seeking assistance in relation to an employment relationship will get my full attention, my respect and my best efforts to be fair. I'm hopeful that my best efforts will be good ones. My training and experience over the last 20 or so years has been within an organisation, the State Solicitor's Office, which is guided by the model litigant principle. In short, that means that while we act for and have duties to our clients, we at all times have had an overarching duty at the office to be fair. I live by that mantra for 20 years, and I'm confident it's prepared me well for my new role. May I be permitted to welcome a few people by name. To John and Jill Matthews, my parents, welcome. Thank you for the love that you have given me, and on a day like today, thank you for the emphasis that you placed on education in my early life. Mum and Dad are people who in a different era, I am sure, would have themselves gone to university, and I thank them for presenting me with the opportunities that they did not have without any time ever pushing me into them. Can I give a special shout out to my sister Nicole and my darling niece Sarah and nephew Matthew. You know how special you are to me. To my friend Eric Kong, who I've known for 40 years this year, since year 1 at Warwick Primary School, and my friend Bob Young, who dropped back on a forced march on a year 8 camp when I was on crutches and couldn't keep up, to keep me company. I thank you so much for your friendship over the years, and I'm so happy you could be here today. To my friend George Tannen, SC, and the gang from the State Solicitor's Office, thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to attend. I enjoyed every minute of working at the State Solicitor's Office, and I hope that you will always cherish your time at the office for the unique and special experience that it is. Can I welcome Daryl Mann, who is here representing the Perth Football Club, and don't ask me about what I might give up to realise the very real aspiration of them one day again winning a premiership. Can also welcome Luke Marta, my associate, seated here, who has taken a leap of faith to join me at the Commission. I think it's going to be a great working relationship, and I thank Luke for taking the chance. To Melissa, thank you for changing my life in all the right ways. Me being here today has a lot to do with your love, guidance, and it must be said, patience. And as you don't have a right of reply, I'll take today as irrefutable proof that I might just be growing up. And to little Lizzie, seated on Mum's lap, my darling stepdaughter. I know that I'm not the Commissioner at home, as was pointed out to me last night. That I'm not the boss of you. That's a new one. I only heard that for the first time last night. But you should know that at the moment I am the only thing standing between you and the morning tea, which is the real reason that you're here. And so I hope I do get some credit for keeping what I've had to say relatively short and sweet. Thank you to you all.
Thank you. Can I thank all of those who have spoken, and thank all of you here for the warmth of your welcome to our two new colleagues. May I now ask our invited guests to join us for refreshments on the 3rd floor, and we will now adjourn.
Monsieur, please stand.
An order of seniority.
Okay.
3rd floor.